Hi, I'm Dr. Shobha Krishnan, founder and president of the Global Initiative Against HPV and Cervical Cancer, also known as GAIAC, and on the board of directors of the American Medical Women's Association. I'm honored to give this introduction and to give the good news that for the very first time, we can eliminate at least one cancer from this world, and that is cervical cancer. When I was an OBGYN resident, almost seems like a century ago, but yes, actually it was in the last century, I remember that almost on a daily basis in India, I would see a cervical cancer case every day. And basically it would be a relatively young woman who would be coming in a hired car or a taxi, and she will get down almost half collapsing with half the villagers behind her. Unfortunately, her clothes would be all blood, and she would walk in very slowly and hold my hand and plead to me to save her because she had young children at home. You know, when we are young physicians, we want to change the world. We want to save lives. And to see that I couldn't do anything at that time was a very frustrating and an angry emotion that I carried with me. It was only after that I migrated into the United States that I realized the paramount importance of an organized system for screening, where women came for early detection and treatment, and they came in when they were feeling well. Such a foreign concept to people in the developing world, and that too in rural areas over there. And that's why I was not seeing as many cervical cancer cases in the US, even though I have to say that we have our fair share here, and no one should be dying here of cervical cancer, especially with all the new technologies that we have. And it's almost a completely preventable cancer. So in 2006, when the HPV vaccine was commercialized, and the publisher asked me to write a book because of my experience in this field, I was thrilled to do so because I found that the clinical trials had shown that the vaccine was very safe, very effective, and the potential it had to reduce the number of cervical cancer cases among women. And of course, now we are getting more and more studies to just prove that. But this is in the future. If we vaccinate the younger generation, we are going to find that down the road, we are not going to see that many cases. But how about in the short term? We are still going to need screening. And are women in the developing part of the world, especially in rural areas, going to take the time to find transport, leaving their children at home, and go to a clinic when they are feeling well to get a pelvic exam? Not at all. So I'm so encouraged by the development of self-sampling, which I think is going to be a game changer. And I think at this point, the next step for me, or at least I think there's some general consensus, is for us to mobilize people, mobilize societies and communities to maybe convince our politicians and our business people, to encourage them to take this as a corporate social responsibility and talk to them in their language, to talk to them about the cost effectiveness of the vaccine, the efficiency of self-sampling, and the return on investment, because women are the backbone of families, of workplace, of communities, and societies. Cervical cancer is a low-hanging fruit. It is the best bang for your buck, and anyone who decides to invest in it can take all the credit for saving millions of lives around this world. Thank you.